Hello, it's Antonia. Today I want to talk about back in the 70s when I lived in Gastonia, about 20 minutes from Charlotte, North Carolina. There was a minister that started a church in an old furniture store in Charlotte, and his name was Jim Baker. And his wife helped him with the ministry. So it was Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. Some of you might remember hearing about them. Well, they just had got started when I was down there. And I had just had my first child. So I was home with the baby. And sometimes when they build up to the point where they bought the furniture store and turned it into their church, they also started a show on the local TV station, a ministry. So while I was home with the baby, I once in a while would watch them on TV. Curious. A lot of things they said in the beginning, very nice, positive Christian values and all that. So during that time, every so often I'd flip over there and see what was going on. Well, more and more when I watched, I saw that they were always asking for money. They needed the money to make their ministry grow. And what they called themselves was PTL, Praise the Lord Club. Anyway, as they started asking for more and more money, I stopped watching them. But they started getting some coverage from the news in that area because they were growing leaps and bounds. And they started asking for money to start what they called the Heritage USA. It was like an amusement park, sort of a place for Christians. And they were building these big high-rise condo buildings. And people could buy memberships and come down there and bring their families in this wholesome Christian atmosphere. Anyway, when I think back on that, I think about myself now, and I use the word cult a lot. Well, now I know that what Jim Baker was doing, him and Tammy Faye, they were forming a cult. And in my opinion, using Christians to have their followers. And it turned out that they actually were robbing people of their money, because when they would try to come to Heritage USA, after they got it built and all part of it, they were going to expand and do all kinds of things. But people couldn't, they'd try to make reservations and they'd always be full. They didn't have a place to stay. So Baker, was trying to build more and more and all this. And then there was some sex scandals and there was some drug scandals and different things like that going on that the news was reporting on. And Jim Baker ended up being arrested and took to prison. And one of my fantasies nowadays is that Donald Trump would be like Jim Baker, crawled up under a desk in the fetal position when they came to get him. And he was actually crying and couldn't even hardly walk without them holding him up when he was hauled off to prison. But, and then back then everybody started saying that the PTL Club praised the Lord, They nicknamed it down there around Gastonia and Charlotte that it was Pass the Loot Club, because that's what it was. So I just wonder if it kind of reminds y'all of something that's going on now. And I think about it and I think, you know, in life we have warning signs, or something we should pay heed to and remember so that it doesn't happen again. So things like that are in my mind during all this because the way Trump is always selling things to make money and using Christians and gathering his cult members from all directions doesn't matter because that's more money and that's more supporters. Anyway, it all fell apart in a bad way. So I'm pretty sure, well, I know Jim Bakker did prison time, and then when he was out of prison, wasn't too long that he was back on the television with his ministry. I don't know if he still called it the PTL Club or not. But during COVID, I remember either somebody reported on it or I saw it myself. But he was back on TV and selling all kinds of powders and pills and certain things that people could take that was going to keep them from getting COVID. Again, pass the loot. I just think it's a disgrace. And it's really a disgrace that it's still going on and the President of the United States is running his own PTL Club as president. President wants the loot. And instead of a wife like Tammy Faye that was helping her husband like that, because she ministered too, he has Elon Musk and J.D. Vance. So anyway, I just wanted to pass that along to you because I remembered when that first started back, I would say in the my oldest daughter is grown now in her 40s, and this was in 75 when she was a baby. So that's how long it was ago. But Jim Bakker is back on the TV. I haven't watched him other than what I saw during COVID that he was trying to sell powders and pills and different things. Another thing that I was thinking about today is yesterday on my video, I said that you are my tribe. And I truly feel that way. So I've been thinking today about, a tribe needs a name. And I've not thought of anything yet. So I'm open to any suggestions in my comments so that we can name the tribe, our tribe. My channel, of course, is Grammy's Views. And I always want you to give me a thumbs up. It helps my channel. Share the video with anybody you want to. And also subscribe. Doesn't cost any money. I'm not asking for money. It just says that you're following my channel. And maybe I can build the tribe. It's a beautiful day today. Absolutely gorgeous. So, oh, and I've been to the dentist, got my partial back in, so that gives me a little more confidence. They didn't have to pull the tooth, they just had to work on it. So I was so thankful that I didn't have to have another tooth pulled and that I got my partial back in my mouth. I know some of you can relate to that. We've had some winds around here quite a bit in the last week or so, and a lot of my little things I have out here on this porch, of course I hadn't messed with the porch at all through the winter, and so it'll really need a good cleaning like I did last year, and trying to straighten it up where the wind has blown a lot of things. But I sure have enjoyed my wind chimes. And I'm going to pick up the camera and take you out here in the yard and show you a tree that blew over. Maybe I'll see the cats too, and I'll show you them. Also, our grill blew over again. It did one time earlier this year, and we had to get one of Jim's nephews to get it for us, so it's been there for a while. Blew off its platform, and that was Twiggy. You can see how Twiggy's grown. Twiggy, you want to go for a walk? Let's go for a walk, Twiggy. And I've got big limbs in the yard. You can see that one there. Smaller ones. Laying around. We did have a lot of limbs out here in the road. They've kind of blowed away. But out there is the tree that fell out my road. So yesterday is one of the reasons that I went ahead and set up my chair and table. It was because of this tree that fell. And usually if we do have high winds, there'll be a lot of them fall up here on the mountain. And this one came down and fell on my road that I like to walk. Again, Jim's nephew, when he gets a chance, he's going to come out and he'll cut up this tree for me to burn in my fire pit. Still got my flag up. Hey, Twiggy. Where's Frank and Sophie? Some days I don't know whether to take it down and fold it up and wash it or whatever and fold it up and store it. But so far, I think I'll just leave it up. We've got to save this country. We've got to hold the line. So I guess that's the best thing to do is just leave it up and try to remember. Got to hold the line. Got to keep speaking out about things. Because it's worth it. Very worth it. Got my little red, white, and blue flag earrings on today. Here's some more of the sticks that haven't blown off the road yet. But I am very glad the weather's starting to get a little warmer. We may have another cold snap. I hope not, but sometimes we do. So anyway, like I say, I have used the word cult a lot, and that's what it feels like to me. Just remembering back when there was so much talk of cults, like with Jim Bakker and the PTL Club, and Jim Jones, and David Koresh, and a lot of times good people get deceived and influenced. But Jim Bakker was definitely one that was after the money. So, Praise the Lord Club became Pass the Loot. Just think about it, people, and watch and keep up with what's going on. So, love to you all, and be talking to you again later. And don't forget to subscribe. Doesn't cost a thing. You'll just be following my station or my channel. Bye. Love to you all. Grammy Antonia.